Catcalling has always been a thing, you know.
Yeah,
it's always been a thing. Also in the 60s, in the 50s, in the 40s, but especially now, it has accelerated since technology came. Everything it has gone up. Why? Because all these things kind of feed more into it.
Welcome, guys. Welcome to the new episode of one of the new episode of 2022. Happy New Year's, guys. If we don't know if this one will be the first or second episode, but guys,
a little bit of time.
guys, we are original. We are one of you. Really, welcome again. I hope you are doing good and everything is okay. Today, fortunately, we are talking about something. A topic really serious, and I don't want to spoil something because I invited someone to be our new guest about this important topic. So she will introduce herself and talk about the daily topic. Please.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you. Well, thanks for the invitation first. Should I talk to the camera?
Yes, of course.
No, thank you for coming.
Just talk.
Yeah, just talk.
After you felt comfortable, you were like, that was a good way to start.
So I'm Ali. I'm part of the organization collective Catcalls of Maastricht since now a year and a little bit more than a year.
Where are you from?
I'm French.
Oh, parle français.
Oui.
Oh, I didn't know. That's why when I heard your
Paris.
Paris, Parisien.
Paris.
Oh, I worked in Paris. Wow. Okay, everyone, my friend knows.
Nobody cares.
So, wait, I wanted
For
to
people
ask you.
who don't know, what is Catcalls?
Yes, exactly. Explain,
Okay, yeah.
explain.
So Catcalls of Maastricht is basically how to say, a grassroots movement. So like just a movement that started between some friends, where we wanted to basically do something against street harassment, because that happens all the time, but there is nothing that we can actually do about it. So basically, we have an Instagram account, and we have a lot of people that shared stories of catcalls.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, they've been catcalled before, and then they tell us what happened and where it happened.
Yeah.
And we collect all the stories, and then we go to the places where it happened, and we chalk there on the ground the story. So let's say, for instance, a person said like, oh, I was in Brussels Strats, and this guy said that I had a really hot boobs or something, right? We would go now after to Brussels Strats and chalk on the ground. Oh, you have really nice boobs.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, for people that don't know what
No,
chalking
exactly.
is literally taking the chalk and writing on the floor, as you say, the things that were said to girls that are reported to you, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because where did this start? Because I was coincidentally, right? Because we talked the last time, and then I was home watching TV, right? And I found out that it's not a Maastricht thing only.
No.
There's also Catcalls of Utrecht, Catcalls of Amsterdam.
Yeah.
And also a talk show in the Netherlands. And the lady from Catcalls of Amsterdam was talking about it because what's the documentary again? The one on The Voice. The sexual harassment on The Voice. So they brought the catcalls from Amsterdam to talk on that. So they were like talking with the council to see how they can help improve that. So I was like, it's not only Catcalls of Maastricht, it's everywhere. So when I heard it started in New York.
Yeah,
right? Because we invited you over because I just found out on Sharing is Caring that this is a thing like last year.
Yeah.
That catcalls were actually a big problem. And people sharing their testimonies and everything. And I know you guys also like collect testimonials and stuff like that. How does that work?
So basically, people send us DM via Instagram, and like we keep it anonymized. Basically, I don't read the messages, so I'm part of the group, but I've never actually properly read the messages. I'm part because the group is kind of like divided into different actions that you're supposed to do. So read the messages, post on Instagram, and go chalking. So with the chalks, right? So I've never actually seen the messages.
Are you not allowed to? Is it like a confidentiality?
Yeah, okay. Of course. It's really important because it's in the end it's like people going through really traumatic experiences, right? That share something that is really personal to like an Instagram account. Yeah. So like we also make sure that not everybody has the password and that not everybody like is able to check on the messages.
Yeah.
Just because
that's smart. Yeah. But can I tell you something? To be honest, I learned this name catcalling 4 years ago. That's why I'm
That's
telling
long
you.
ago. Oh, wow.
No, that's not a lot. Exactly, I didn't
I
know.
learned-
Because I was born in Italy, in my case, so I wanted to ask Riccardo to explain in simple words what does it mean? What does it mean? Catcalling.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's pretty clear. Like it was used the words that we know catcalls now, but in simple words is street harassment. When we talk about street harassment, there's many forms that can come from verbal, physical.
Unfortunately, physical.
Unfortunately, physical. And I think it's very important to share light on this problem. That it's not something that is unfortunately like developed in the last years, but it's a systematic problem in society that is driven by the way how people are, instructed. People, they need to develop a certain respect that they are not taught. So, yeah.
What do you think? People should be educated more. What do you think? What is the possibility for the future?
Maybe we can come back to the possibility like the solutions or what you recommend later after we like dive deeper into the topic. Because I know, for example, like we're focusing on this episode on sexual harassment, right? But I know you don't only do sexual harassment. Like you guys also are broader than just sexual harassment, right?
Yeah, because like it's also not so random that in a show about The Voice they were talking about street harassment as well, because everything is just like everything is kind of stemming from the same problem, it's like this systemic issue that Ricardo was talking about, right? So like we don't only focus, we mainly focus on what's happening publicly, like street harassment or sexual assault also in the streets, or catcalling, because it's obviously different if you just adjust, right? If you just get an insult or a remark, or if you actually get physically assaulted, right? But all of this would fall under the same kind of system and issues, the same motivation somehow.
Yeah, so there's like a root cause which has to be tackled. Because I think in the show as well they were talking about, and I think it's so interesting nowadays, because even the guy from The Voice, when he was interviewed about it, he said the lady should speak up, right? So the people who are harassed should speak up more. He never mentioned anything about the people who are perpetrating. So the males, it could also, I don't know if the females catcall as well, but mostly males.
For sure.
He never mentioned anything about them. So it's like they're not necessarily the problem. The problem is that the people who are sexually harassed do not talk up. So they're talking about how the blame is always put on the
victim.
The victims instead of the perpetrators.
That's not nice.
Yeah, it's not nice, and it's also like kind of a blocking way, right? Because at the same time, we are told as victims, they are told as victims to speak up, but they're not being listened, or they're not taken seriously. Or they're being questioned, like all this stuff. Because also something crazy that happens when I go chalk, because I go often in the streets and just do, like I said, the chalk in the street, right? And really often a lot of guys ask me like, is that really what's happening? Even though I'm writing on the street right now, if you look around you, like a lot of stuff like this happen, but it's just that we don't trust it neither. We don't trust really the victims.
But you know why the guy asked you, because there are some really good guys that coming from a good family that they can never think about catcalling someone. That's why someone could be. But that guy should inform himself, because
because I think the danger there too is that you don't even know what catcalling is at all. So let's say you're with friends. Let's say I've never heard about this thing before, right? And I'm with friends and I don't know how bad it is. And you're like, you're hey, shitty, those kind of things. I would not think it's bad because I don't know what that is, right? But you're doing it. I'm like, oh, it seems cool. Like you're doing it, and people are like, hey, they're cheering you up. So I would do it too. So it's like if you don't have the information that that thing is a thing which is a big problem. From your ignorance of not knowing what it is at all, you might find yourself doing it without actually knowing you're doing it.
I think
and I feel like in a university setting that could be dangerous.
Yeah. Also, another problem is the fact that you don't realize how much you're affecting people with those simple words, those simple actions, and how much people are affected day by day for 1 second of their life. Or 10 seconds of their life. Yeah,
because let me ask you, how big of a problem do you think it is? Because you guys collect testimonials, you go chalking, so you have a lot of experience with this. You have a broad range of people who come as victims to share their story and just vent. How big of a problem do you think this actually is? Maybe start with Maastricht and then
Yeah,
get a
well,
bigger.
that's what I was. Maybe I will just start with the bigger picture and then we'll start actually.
Okay.
Because, as you said, there's Catcalls of New York, right? And like New York is a sketchy place. New York is really, really
Yeah,
sketchy.
I saw
The metro.
Catcalling.
The metro is very scary.
It's like
I saw. Look at me.
terrible.
I don't know you guys if you saw this video, but go on YouTube and write "experiment catcalling New York."
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's sketchy as fuck.
It's crap. I had goosebumps. I'm a guy. It's crazy. Like a
Exactly.
girl cannot like walk without any
Oh
comments.
yeah, I think I saw the video as well. Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
I felt
Yeah.
so bad. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
no, this video is really terrible. So you
Yeah.
see, it's really sketchy
Yeah.
place, and you see like messages that are really, really shocking, right? And obviously, like before I would do this like Catcalls of Maastricht in Maastricht,
Yeah.
I would also be like, okay, maybe Maastricht compared to New York is like, there is definitely like, is not the same scale,
It's
because
definitely
New
not
York
the
is
same
really
scale, yeah.
sketchy.
Yeah.
But Maastricht, a lot of people were also telling me like, oh, it's so safe here, you know, there is no problem whatsoever.
I can understand them.
Yeah,
I can
Yeah.
understand.
you know, it seems like I don't know, neat. It seems like there is not so much like sketchiness, but it doesn't necessarily like somehow, because it's such a normalized behavior, like you just said before. Like if you don't know what it is, you might just like pick up on your friends, because it's such a normalized behavior. You don't need to have a sketchy ass place to actually have
Yeah.
catcalls and have harassment in the street. So
Yeah.
in Maastricht, it's worse than we think, and really it's worse than we think.
Yeah,
Sometimes-
because the stories that we hear are just
Exactly.
the war
Yeah.
stories. When the normalized stories, as you say, they are
Yeah.
they pass.
But we also have normalized. We also have just like weird ass comments of men commenting on a woman, like barking or something, you know, like stuff that are like very annoying, but not up to a physical assault. But then we also have the physical assault parts,
Yeah.
because people also send us, I don't know if I need to get into details or anything, maybe I won't, but just like, yeah, like glimpse of really bad like harassment that happens also here.
Yeah, because I think like the last time we're talking about it is like this gray area where, you know, someone saying, I don't know, I keep saying chérie. In Cameroon we have like bilingual, so chérie is the French
just
word.
yeah,
So it's like
Amore
it's
mio.
like sweetheart.
it's like
Amore mio.
chérie has like a
Sweetie.
street connotation. It's like
Ah.
chérie coco, chérie. You know, it's like in French we say like that in Cameroon,
Okay.
and it's what they used to call in Cameroon.
Yeah.
So it's like when people say chérie, to some people it could be, ooh, I look
Yeah.
good. So
Yeah.
they're like, you know, some people don't find that a bad thing. Some people find talking harmless. Some
Yeah.
people find you just looking at me and commenting my body features already harmful.
It's done.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah, where is the line?
What is good for some
Yeah,
people is bad.
it's-
So I think it's really tricky, but of course it is a problem, and I think it's even worse when it's in a place like Maastricht, which is small. If you know, if you hear about Amsterdam, okay, fair enough, it's Amsterdam, busy, things happen, red
Yeah.
light district, it is what it is. But if you come to Maastricht, you will not expect that, and I
Yeah.
think that also makes the problem even worse, because then it
Yeah.
would not be obviously a problem, but it is
Yeah,
there.
yeah, for sure.
It's
for
everywhere, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Sure. It's everywhere.
But sometimes shocked me because I heard a story from one of my closest friends in Italy. She's a girl, and when she was 16, she was like catcalled from a guy, like old guy, and next to her there was a old woman, and she said, oh, like she was under like someone catcalling her, and the old woman said, no, don't worry, it's only a compliment.
Yeah.
Eat right, yeah.
And the girl of 16 years old was like, oh my god. She said, okay, then I'm wrong. Look how psychologiquement you go like, I'm sorry. Psychologically.
No, I love
I like
it sounds better.
psychologiquement is better.
It sounds
Exactly. I
better.
never said psychologically. So also like sometimes women in
Can I say it again?
general,
Can I say it again?
psychologiquement.
Wow. That sounds much
Oh my
better.
god, even in Italian I say it, in French I don't say it.
I should use that more. Better.
So I think sometimes women like does or says sometimes some things that can even get this situation worse because
ignorance, yeah.
Can you understand an old woman? No, it's only a
So I think
compliment.
they don't understand the effects.
Yes, it's
I
normalized.
think
Yeah.
it's also this part of internalization,
Yes.
right? It's like you see a behavior that's happening every single day,
Yeah.
and unless somebody says something about it, it's normal, and then why would you complain about it, you know?
Yeah.
But even like, I feel like it's Catcalls is a feminist movement, but it's not a woman movement per se, you know, because men also get harassed, you know. We also had because we had an event that we're gonna do again at some point.
Can we be
yeah,
be
of course.
there?
It's a community chalk. So it's basically we get together in the streets and we like chalk on the ground all together. Last time there were like, I don't know, maybe 30, 40 people that showed up, like not all at once, but you know, like
I would like to see guys.
Yeah, exactly. And there were like also like guys that are gay that also get like you know, harassed. And also about what you said about like women making it worse, that also happened here in Maastricht. Once I was talking with a friend, and we're talking something that was really shocking. It was about somebody that was masturbating in front of the person. So really shocking, right?
I know more stories than this. It's
wait, like in the streets.
In the streets.
Yeah.
You have no dignity.
Bro.
Yeah, there is people literally here in Maastricht, they take their dick out
on the streets,
and they just start masturbating. But like here at the Maastricht law faculty,
and
it happens so many times.
Like this is definitely an assault, you know, like this.
Like why? No wait, why you? Anyways,
no, there is no why. There is no reason.
I don't want to know.
Like it's you know
I don't want to know.
You have mental problems.
It's just. But I was talking this in the street. Literally, it was written out, and then this woman passes by and she asks me like what I'm doing, and I'm telling her I'm doing something against street harassment, blah blah, and then she goes, oh, so you're doing something against men calling you pretty in the streets. And I'm like, yeah, basically that's what we're doing. And then she goes, oh, but don't you have anything better to do, you know? And it's just like, I'm like, okay, but look at the ground, you know? It's so ridiculous to diminish street harassment to only like.
Can I say something? Yeah. Can I say, because I understand like when someone thinks someone is telling you beautiful, but you don't know the person. You don't know what is the other thing he will say or will do. So maybe it's true, it's a compliment, but after what is going on, people say you're beautiful, and after comes behind you, like you know.
No, that's a good point though, because I feel like right, I'm somebody who likes to I like to appreciate what God created.
Yeah.
If your hair looks good, I'm like, oh, your hair looks good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If I don't know you, that's the next story. I'll ask permission first. But like, if I see someone who actually looks good, I would like to be able to express that. Okay, you look good today, right? Like, okay, I don't have motives because I don't even want to know you after this. I'm just like telling you look good. Some people really glow up from that. Some point you're like, thank you. Like, have you seen the videos that are circulating online of like this car just driving and like giving people compliments?
Yeah.
Ma'am, you look like a queen today. You're looking good in that dress, and they just drive away. You know, right? But that's cool.
Yeah, but exactly, it's
depends on the motive.
Always psychological, more how the way you say it.
Yeah.
The intention how you say it. If it's really your heart is going crazy, you need to say to this girl, okay, you're so beautiful, and you leave.
Right,
it's also, I think I can try to make it this. I can like experiment. I can do it, like to be nice and to be, how I can say, polite in a way. I think in this way, let me go on the other side, right? Let me play devil's advocate for a while, because I've had an experience where I was genuinely giving someone a compliment and it backfired.
Yeah,
right?
I remember.
And in the I told you, and in the day and age of cancelling, anything you say, I'm the kind of person I'm going to be feel free. If I'm on the wrong, I want to learn. Tell me I want to learn. Like cancel, I don't care. So I'm like, if you say something and there's just that tendency to like constantly bash every single mistake, like even something someone is trying to learn, right? There's no space to learn nowadays because every single thing you say can be taken out of context and can be used against you. So even you giving a compliment to someone from the kindness of your heart, just appreciating what God created, that could be a problem too, you know? So it's like there's that area where I personally don't know how to deal with that, because it's something which people being cancelled is just a normal thing nowadays. Where it's like, okay, there's people who are genuinely fighting for the cause, but there's people who are on the other end just wanting to just bash you for everything you say and not giving space to talk.
Actually, I wanted to make an episode about this.
About cancel culture?
I don't know, I never heard this.
Cancel culture,
yeah, like, because in this society, where I was talking also with him, I was talking also with this guy, that in this society, I understand, you know, I'm a super respectful guy, you know, blah blah. But I was born comic. This guy, I agree, I accept. So I was born like a comic, you know, and I know I can make fun about everything, you know. But I know I want to put limit on my to be nice, to be funny. I don't like to joke with everything, you know, because I want to put. But normally, who is really sarcastic, like Charlie Hebdo, they say no. You could joke about everything, but no, don't joke about deaths or something else, like, you know.
Yeah, I think there's a big difference between like irony or sarcasm to street harassment.
Yeah.
You know, like because I think it comes from like it's a form of hate rather than, as you say, appreciation. Because you're not doing it like take the attention. Yeah, maybe you're doing it.
There
to
is
take
an
the
interest.
attention.
There is an interest.
Exactly. What is your interest?
Yeah.
Why are you doing it? Like,
Yeah.
why don't you stop me, as you say, and appreciate my beauty instead of screaming in the street? You know, why do you have to take this form that it's in itself a form of violence?
Yeah.
Because it's a form of violence. Because if someone comes to you and says, "You piece of shit," or takes his dick out in front of you, like.
Yes. I definitely think the extremes to it. And maybe before we move on to the next point.
No, I want to answer.
Okay, you want to answer? Yeah, I just wanted to mention the fact that I think it's because I've experienced this as well. And we talked about this the last time as well. It's like I just feel like because people have experienced it so often, which I understand, and I cannot imagine what it's like to go through that. It's like people have this automatic defense.
Yeah.
Like you say hi to someone, they are ready to fight you. Like they are ready to fight your ancestors, fight everybody you know.
But
so
it's
like
understandable.
there's automatic defense I understand, but I feel like as a society, while the other part, for example, we are trying to learn and educate ourselves more about this and try to educate our brothers and stuff like that not to do that anymore. I feel like the other side also maybe has to show us more grace, or at least show the people who are genuinely trying to just know you more grace, who are trying to give you compliment more grace. Because I know if I go, like, I don't feel free to compliment people anymore. I'm someone who I don't want to do anything with you. I just want to tell you, you look good today. Because some people, like my mom wants to hear that, my sister wants to hear they look good, But it's like, I don't even feel the freedom to do that anymore. Because that person can just be like,
dangerous.
Bro, I don't have time for you today. I'm like,
I mean, that's also the thing, right? It's like if you decide to engage with somebody in the street that you don't know, you might as well just accept that they might reject you, right? Because it's not also, it depends on personality, depends on the time, the mood, whatever. They might not just want to welcome this compliment, and also they don't have to. You
don't have to. You know what I feel?
They don't even have to engage with you.
I know. I feel like some people, I don't know, I must speak for everyone, some people want to, but the thought that it might come with something negative has to like automatically refuse it.
Yeah,
because there is the
like,
possibility.
There's the possibility.
It's just like the protection,
Do you think is this is a question? Do you think that this sensation also maybe for you is given by the fact that maybe some people had bad experiences?
Yeah, for sure. That's the problem. But the thing is, for me, if you block out, if you like have walls, you're for sure going to keep out the negatives. But what you're definitely also for sure going to do is keep out the positives. Because if you have a wall, good and bad can come through, Like bad for sure is kept out, because but the good as well can come through.
But the thing is that the bad is very traumatic sometimes.
It is.
That's the thing is that you need to protect yourself as well. And it's not only just bad faith or like that these people that have this wall are just like grumpy or whatever. Sometimes it's just that they have to protect themselves.
They have to protect themselves.
It's just because I'm a really naive person. I also don't have any wall. Like honestly, anyone can come to me in the street and I'd be happy to talk. But then I've been in situations where it ended up like against me, because then I would be so nice, and then they would like start to say weird shit or just like follow me or whatever, and I'm just like, what the fuck? I just have to like, I cannot even smile to you without you thinking like, okay. And the thing is that I don't know if, like, let's say you want to compliment me in the street and I don't know you. I don't know if you're gonna like do some sketchy shit, you know? That's the thing as well. It's just that you have, like, this experience is really weird.
I feel like it's a very tricky area, and I don't think we're gonna get to a point where we're like, okay, that's the solution.
Can I tell you what's happened in the last 2 days? Like, okay, 2 days ago I was in the gym. There was a
and you catcalled someone.
No, really, no, I will never.
You will never, right?
I was in the gym, and there was a beautiful girl. Of course, all the guys, of course. You realize there is a beautiful girls in the gym. And a guy went to her, so like it was so shy. Told her, "Can I have your number?
Yeah.
And she started to laugh. She was like, yes, of course.
Yeah.
She gave him his number and he left. At least if you think she's, at least talk. I mean, if I could give advice to this guy, at least go talk with her, like, don't be shy. Okay, you asked the number, but next time don't talk in messages. Try to give a compliment in a nice way. Try to be I don't know, more natural. Don't feel like if you say something wrong, it's crazy, it's going crazy. Bro, be yourself. And today, look, after 2 days today, I parked my car. I went out in front of Gruitvad, and there was a girl like fixing his hair, and a guy with the bag, like walking. I really saw this like situation, and he saw her does. He does this, and after I look at her walking, and the girl like. I actually go out, bro. So I go out of the car and ask to the girl. I don't know her. Like, do you know that guy? Because I thought maybe they know each other. She told me no. I was like, but what is this? Like pow.
Yeah.
Bro, that's a gun. What?
Yeah.
And she told me, I don't know. I told her, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I feel disgusting because of that guy who's walking. Again, 2 girls looking, walking like a militar. Bro, like that's so stupid, so sad. Like I can't.
And it's all the time.
It's so sad.
Yeah.
Because I am a guy, and I think it's disgusting and stupid. Not disgusting. What is this, bro? Give her a rose and leave at least.
But I think maybe let's close this part with this question, right? Because I think this is something which gives people something to think about. With all this said, right? What is even flirting nowadays? Is that even supposed to? No, we don't have to. We're not answer the question because I don't think we're gonna get anywhere with that question. Right?
Maybe let's give it. Oh, sorry.
And I also think that it's a bit too bad to come here together to talk about street harassment and end up talking about flirting, right? Because even before, we recorded a podcast before, and there was also the question that I think guys are just wondering a lot, but. In the first place, it might be really interesting to inform yourself about what is actually preventing you from flirting in the first place. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like there's a problem, there's an issues, and I know that one wants to flirt, right? But there's also a need to tackle this issue altogether, right?
Yeah.
And I know it's a burning question.
Yeah.
And I don't know
because me ask you.
You could be like, what can I do then to flirt and not necessarily come across in a bad way? That could be a burning question in some people too. So I'm like,
that's it's a completely different question to go back to what we were saying.
We could eventually, if we have time at the end, we can also talk about.
Yes, in the end, I think you're correct.
I also think it's an interesting answer because obviously there's a difference between saying I like the color of your sweater and I like your ass. That's a biggest difference, right? And that's also one is a compliment and one is street harassment, And this because of the intention. When somebody said before, it's because of the intention, right?
It's like the intention,
In the end, like I said, like nobody prevents you from giving compliments. It's just that you also need to accept that people might be like, "Yo, I just." Street harassment is something that. A lot of people experience, right? Like a whole lot of people experience, but somehow it always stays within the private spheres. So I've always been talking about my experiences of harassment with my female friends. Very not so much with my guy friends, but much more with my girlfriends because they can relate, right? And that's something that sometimes fucking traumatic stuff happen, and then you just have to keep it kind of private secret in that circle of people that just understand. But it happens in the street. It happens publicly, And then it's this weird translation into what's happened publicly ends up being kept private. But it's not because it happened in the public sphere in the first place. So basically, we go chalk as for that everybody could see what happens in the street because. There is no reason why we should keep that for ourselves because it happens publicly.
It happens to everybody as well.
It happens to everybody as well, and it's just also we do in this very specific order of something happens there, so we all go there and we chalk there to also, I don't know, make people understand that it happens everywhere and it happens it happens on your everyday way to school. It's Brussels attracts is Every week there's a chalk there in Brussels attract because it's super Yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of
But
true
also,
harassment.
can I open something like about this situation? Can you imagine? Can we talk about catcalling in different countries? It's because
Well, that's gonna be-
it's crazy.
That's going to be very.
When I was walking, I'm talking about me. Okay, like I
ahead.
was walking with my cousin.
Mhm.
She was my cousin,
Mhm.
and I was counting. I was like 10 years old, 11 maybe. I was counting 9 guys behind me,
Yeah.
asking to me, "Is your sister? Is your sister?" And I was like, I didn't. I was young. What is going on? Like, okay, my cousin, she's beautiful, but bro, calma. What is this? I was born in Italy, so at least in Italy, like not 9 guys, 8 guys behind. Like, bro, I didn't get it. Like, and after she explained it to me, oh, those guys is flirting with me. Minga, I was like, flirting.
Yeah.
How you flirt like this?
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
And I was 10. I didn't understand what is going on, and I was telling her, there are someone is like following us. She was like, yeah.
There's someone-
Yes.
and that's the thing, right? She's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I know. Because
Yeah.
obviously we notice. And because obviously we just like get so used to it at some point.
Yeah.
And for sure in some countries it's worse than in other
Yeah.
countries.
And after, when my cousin, she made the fular hijab,
Mhm.
no one was talking anymore.
Mhm.
Look how also they judge, like because of the religion and stuff. Because you are not without hijab, they say, okay, then you are an easy girl.
Mm.
I think that's
It's
that's a big
worst.
thing.
Oh my god! But I don't want to open this. It's so
But it's
giant.
like, it's about
More
it's about,
cultural.
Oh
it's
my
about
God,
the
yeah,
judgments.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's the culture,
Yeah,
for sure,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's also the judgment of the worth also because
Yeah.
eventually this situation also happens here when like women have like miniskirts, for instance, or like crop tops. Then they will get also much more like called like an easy girl, right?
Yes,
He will get
yeah.
much more catcalled.
Yeah.
And it's just like the values of society differs, but it's always this like range of like, oh, a girl is respectable, or a girl is a slut, right? It's
Yeah.
just like as the more the sluttier you are, the more you will get harassed.
Yes.
That's something that I noticed also before. I had really long hair, right?
Yeah.
And I would wear makeup, and I would get so much more harassed than now with my short hair,
Yeah.
no makeup, looking like a boy. I'm almost fine, you know.
Yeah.
But then if I decide to like wear like high heels and wear a skirt and wear red lipstick,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
the
Well, I
serious
think
stereotyping.
that's also given by the fact that you get more attention. Like, let's say if you dress all in red, systematically you get more attention. But I think it's not a problem of how you dress. Like, because I was in a long relationship with this girl 2 years here in Maastricht, and she would constantly get harassed,
Yeah.
followed at home.
Yeah.
She would have run. She got spit on her. So
Shit.
yeah, of course. She was called many names.
Yeah.
Many names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and trust me, she wasn't going around with high heels.
Yeah.
No.
Like,
yeah.
or maybe she was, but sometimes, most of the times, you know, it didn't matter what she was.
But I think
doing.
I can actually imagine that the more feminine you look,
Yeah.
the more
Yeah.
you probably
Yeah.
statistically
Yeah.
compared to people who like look more
I mean,
in hoodies.
you
and stuff
think,
that.
like, let's say, if you see a tall girl, blonde, with, you know, very visually impacted, like, for example, if you go in a crowd of people, you're not gonna see me because I'm 1 meter 20. if you see Ahmed, you're gonna see him.
Yeah.
You know, he's that you're gonna
Yeah.
recognize him.
Yeah.
But
It's the
because
same with the girl. Like if you
he's
see a
more
girl like
recognizable,
with
you know,
yeah.
like the fact
Yeah,
that
I think I understand your point that like
it's
one
true.
is just more recognizable, but I feel like that also plays a role into how, for lack of a better word, eye-catchy you are.
yeah, because we were taught, if you think about like advertisement, you know, sex sells. Good-looking men and good-looking women are what are selling you the products. So you're brought to the idea that if you see a naked body, you're gonna have, you know, more, you know, than what you would get with a body that is covered.
Yeah, that's true. I understand.
like
okay,
that.
okay. Yeah, what she said. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's linked
but
about
But
the.
it's still very true that like the sole fact that you are a woman walking in the streets just is the reason why you get harassed in the first place
Yeah.
as well, you know? It's like there's obviously there's like I don't think there's rules also for
Why
like,
do you
okay,
think people harass, like do
wait,
catcalls?
I would just like
Okay.
maybe finish my point real quick. Like I don't think there is rules of like if you have high heels you will definitely get
No,
harassed.
not always.
And if you have sweatpants, you won't get harassed whatsoever, you know? And that's also the tricky thing about it, is that because it's such like unpredictable, because it's like a human relation thingy, right? It's like you just don't know what's gonna happen, but you still always have the possibility that I might get harassed regardless of what I wear. But still, that's also why a lot of people say, oh, you should change maybe, you know, before going out, because you have something that is too slutty.
Yeah,
you
so
know?
you're not inviting.
There's still like
Yeah, but the truth is that you can get harassed.
You can get harassed anytime, but there's still like this fear or this is like the two are not mutually exclusive, right? You get harassed every time, and you can also get harassed more if you know.
1 week ago, I was in a party, and my girlfriend came to me. She told me, "Oh, Ahmed, do you think I can take out the jacket? I'm hot." I was like, "Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling hot." I was like, "Yeah, do it." She told me, "Yeah, but I have only the top. Look, all the other girls are covered." I said, "What do you mean? After it's too much. Look how girls start to think that they look." I was like, "No, Amore, take it out. Don't worry. Here, I know everyone. Don't worry." And she took it out. She was thinking about it. Look how we arrived. Look how crazy.
Yeah.
Like, if you feel hot, no, you need to stay. Otherwise, you look too much. She told me, "No, it's not too much." I was like, "What do you mean? It was only a normal top. Was here because she's like a model." I told her, "It's okay. If you're beautiful, don't be afraid."
Before, right? It's like you'd ask the victim to speak up about it, and therefore the victim just like internalized that the blame is on them in the first place.
And I felt bad. I was like, why you ask me? You feel hot. Take out. Why I'm free to do it because I'm a guy. Okay, I don't have a top, but still, you know, if my friend Kevin come with, he did it already, come with the, how you call them, pantaloncini, the shorts of football, he can come, no one says something. But if a girl do it, it's always weird, and it's crazy how my best friend, girl, she is not going to the gym because she tells me, there is too much guys. Why?
Yeah.
Why we arrived to this in 2022? Now a girl wants to go to the gym.
No, I mean we're in a location, because I can, you know, acknowledge the fact that we're in Europe, and Europe is a very liberal place to a certain degree, of course. But like if you go to Cameroon, the discussion of going somewhere with crop top is not even you don't go anywhere with crop top. If you live in the French zones where they call them all liberal, they have crop tops. Where I grew up, you don't have crop tops. Like you don't show your belly. Okay. So for me, that's like a thing where I'm like, I can understand it to some degree because we're in Europe where the culture is liberal. But I'm also exposed to the fact that there's a whole part of the world where crop tops are not even a thing. You know, so it's like it's not too far from my imagination how that is something that happens here, because we're all humans and we influence each other somehow. You know, it's like for me, it's just. If in this context, it's terrible that you think that way, but in the broader context of like the world is big, you know, it's other parts of the world people don't even show their world. Yeah, people can't even.
But do you think like people get harassed by like?
Oh, that's a whole different conversation. I think
that's
a whole different conversation.
Wow. Hey guys, I'm done working, so now I'm working.
What do you want?
Come here.
No, so good. So what I think this whole issue is all about as well is the society. Like society has a big influence on like how things have developed to these days, because like I don't know, I mean, there's a lot of things when you guys talked about this, like this image of a good-looking man, a good-looking woman. When you see them in advertisements, everything, you can even bring pornography into the discussion, kind of how it influences your brain, what it expects you. Because when you see in pornography how they perform, they say those nasty words, everything. It kind of gets normalized in there, and like you're not gonna think like, oh, that's normal. It's just your subconscious mind is gonna be so used to these things. What society kind of brings to you, especially in the liberal world, that they kind of will just, you know, not go insane, but they get a distorted mind of like what is expected
of what is
to behave, or how he's supposed to behave.
You distort the reality of
reality of how it is. Like,
or you see the guys picking up girls on YouTube videos, and you think that that's the way.
YouTube as well. Catcalling has always been a thing, you know.
Yeah,
it's always been a thing. Also in the 60s, in the 50s, in the 40s, but especially now it has accelerated since technology came. Everything it has gone up. Why? Because all these things kind of feed more into it.
Yeah, if I can give my opinion, it didn't accelerate. It just got more exposed.
Yeah, I think
because
so.
people are starting to
talk,
understand. You know,
it's opening. It's opening.
You see it. She's here.
It's basically they're opening up the boxes.
I think it also accelerated though, because it's like back then. All right,
with social media.
Social media. Back then, you were in your room. You had your thoughts. Okay, if you're exposed to 1 or 2 people on the street, fine. That was it. It was limited. But like now, with the internet, anyone who posts a picture, you can. Catcalling is not only physical. I feel like you can also say things like sexually harass people verbally on comment sections.
Yeah.
You know, like people get traumatized from those
But
things.
this is cyber harassment.
That is definitely accelerated with technology. Like it's not like it was
And I can
happening before.
I can text right now to Shakira.
I grew up without
Wow.
internet. You know,
I
like
like
I
your
think I
banding.
had the internet when I was 14-year-old, and I
Yeah.
remember people harassing each other. You know, in
That's
the streets.
so it's like you had that on the
in
streets.
school,
But it's like
you know.
Ricardo, on the streets you could harass 20 people, but in the internet
Okay.
you can harass 200.
100
Like
in
if you're
one
just on
second.
TikTok, no. You know, if watch a press conference and see people are commenting, I'm like, what? The guy's in suits. How are you putting sexual comments? Like people just want to express their thoughts, and now they have a bigger
Okay, yeah, I
platform
see,
to
I
do it.
see.
You know,
Yeah.
so it's like it's just amplified.
Can I say something? I was dating this girl, okay? We were in a really short, that's right. We were in this restaurant having dinner, and this guy came to me, he sit with us. Like in a date night, he sit with us, and this guy, I don't want to judge him, and he start to talk, for 30 minutes. Thanks God the girl was so smart that she accepted the situation. She saw me that I couldn't tell him leave, so this guy was not really normal. He was talking for 30 minutes, and after he left, we started to laugh about it. After one year, this guy forgot about the face of this girl I was dating. After 1 year, this girl came to me, told me, Ahmed, by the way, that guy was talking with you in our date. He catcalled me. And I text this guy and told him, Amore, what are you doing? My girlfriend told me you catcalling her. I said, no. And after he started to go, he said, no, yeah, but I'm sorry. Well, but I don't wanted to tell her that she's beautiful. I was like, bro, come on. But I'm really, and after he came, he told me, no, I want to see you. And the girl told me, please come. And the girl told me, but he does this only because he knows it's your girl.
Yeah.
So it's something about
Yeah.
manly, how you say it in English.
Like
It was sad because it's my girl, not. And I told him, no, you should be upset because you did this to a girl. Don't be upset because you respect me. No, I told him, forget me. It's not nice. I told him like this.
That's a good point.
This is where I think this conversation should be supposed to also head at is like, how do you solve this?
Yeah,
It's also a job for us.
But it's just like it's
It's like
messy.
what is catcalling? But think about it now. Like us men, we can solve it as well. We can also contribute to it in the sense that if we see this happening in front of our eyes, do something about it. Go. I'm a victim of that as well. I just watch. I'm like, oh, what am I supposed to do? I'm just like, you know what? Sometimes you just have to,
say something.
Just say something. Go up and approach the dude or whoever's doing it and really give him a sign like, don't do that shit.
Yeah.
People around you, you see what you're doing. We're gonna act up.
Okay, let's get to this a little bit later because otherwise we're not gonna cover the whole point.
Yeah, but just saying,
but
if-
man,
if-
take a chair.
No,
Otherwise,
I'm good. But
Just
just
gonna keep hopping in now.
exactly.
It's a
It's
bonus.
just like-
We got a bonus this week, this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think we're almost going to get to the solutions, right? So let's just, with the chalking you mentioned, I was wondering, because I think that's something which, for example, maybe some people might be feeling like they want to do that as well, to express themselves somehow, or join the events you're organizing, for example.
Yeah.
Have you actually encountered any problems with chalking before? Like from the gemeente or the police or...
So
Police,
basically,
yeah.
Catcalls of Maastricht is the only group in Maastricht that really does this type of stuff.
Like sexual harassment or
in the
or
street, like
chalking.
street harassment and chalking. So
Okay.
basically the gemeente knows about us
Mhm.
because we've had a meeting with them before, and just because I don't know, they wanted to do something about like street harassment in Maastricht, but whatever, it's another topic. And we had once a problem with the police because we're chalking something on the streets, and basically it was in front of somebody's store, and the owner of the store called the police, basically saying that there was like how do you say, defamation, like when you
defamation,
degrading something in the public, in the
Space.
street, basically in the public space. And so we had the police in front of us, and we're like, okay.
What are you gonna do about it?
What are you gonna do? Because it's literally chalk, like
rain is gonna fall the next second.
literally, and it's also
And it rains 5 times a day.
yeah, you can even I know, right? You can do it yourself if you really dislike this chalk, because obviously there is language, because we're not gonna censor ourselves neither. It's not like we're gonna say as it is, like there is language, there is insults, there is like very disgusting things going on, but it's just what we hear in the streets all the time. So we had problems because there were language on the streets. But because the gemeente knows about this movement, they're like really chill about it.
Yeah, and you also told me that sometimes you had problems with parents who were saying with your language or what you're writing shouldn't be seen or heard by kids.
That's the tension, right? That's the problem. Because obviously the public space is public for everybody, and it's public also for the little kids that speak Dutch and that see like, oh mom, what is a slut? You know, like like a little person would just read the message on the street and eventually ask their parents or something, you know. And we had this like kind of dilemma, okay, are we gonna chalk something that is really violent next to a school or not, you know? And eventually we try to find ways around it often, but there was this one time also where like I was chalking something and I didn't even know that a school was there, but apparently a school was like next to it. And a mom came to me and she asked me like what I was doing, and then I said what I was doing, and then she was like, oh but yeah, but there's a school right here, like what about the kids, like they're gonna see, you know? And it's true, you have to decide kind of like what do you want to put in the first place, either this this action against harassment.
Yeah, because
like
it happened there, regardless of where it is, it happened there.
That's the whole point of the Catcalls of Maastricht, right? Is that we're supposed to do it where it happens, and the harasser doesn't care there is a school in the street, you know.
Yeah.
And then eventually thinking maybe that might also raise questions among children, like, oh, what is this? Because children also see harassment. I mean, it starts really, really early on, right?
The
Like,
parents.
Absolutely.
The parents.
In the school, not only
in
this,
the
but
school, in the parks, whatever, you know, like they
on
see
YouTube, like it's so
on
hypocritical. Your kids are exposed to these things way more than you think they are, and you're out here complaining that people are actually trying to bring awareness in a way which is public and everyone can talk about it, whereas your kids are there at home getting way more than.
But they also have a point, right? It's also like very violent language.
It's confronting. I think it's very confronting.
It's very
But
confronting.
if you think about it,
for sure, and you cannot make everybody happy. Also, there's something that when you do something publicly that is like political, that is like against harassment, you cannot make everybody happy.
Come, Kevin. Also, I want to say that for me, the base of the new generation. We are the future, you know. We will be one day sitting in the parliament, or someone will be a cop, you know. We will be the future, you know. We like parents of one day, we need to educate our boys. If I will have 5 kids,
not only guys, it's just people.
Even
just
in general, girl and a boy, in general. Educate this guy and tell him what is good, what is bad. Respect what you need to respect. Be careful to what to say. This is the basic. Only like this, because now I said to this girl, told her, if I will have a daughter, I will bring her to do kickboxing and dancing.
Yeah.
Why? No, but you should tell to your friend. No, before I wait, that the system will change. My daughter will be arrested, will be physically you know.
Exactly.
This is what I wanted just to say, like educate your little children. You know, if they can be exposed on so many things. I mean, at one point when you don't have to like educate them at early ages, but like at the point where like you think it's
they
time
understand.
To understand.
Yeah, but I think it's important also to educate people in general.
Yeah, of course, but
the
like
problem now
internalize.
is also people our age. I think there is a lot of people our age that don't realize what they are doing. They don't realize they're catcalling. They
but
don't
you also want to
realize
secure the
they're
future
harassing.
for later.
Yeah, but
And
the future is
For sure, for
As
sure.
well, you know,
Everything's future, but like start as low as possible.
everything's the future.
Oh yeah.
But
Or
I
start as
think
low
like
as possible.
education is great, but it's also about going against what is said in society, right? It's like it's great to say that you should do this and you should not do that, but it's also showing and pinpointing what makes you do certain things. Just like, and think that this is a normal behavior just because of your gender or whatever, that you should be doing this because of that's how society teaches you, right? And it's like unlearning those stuff, kind of, because it will be like it will come in such a like overwhelming wave as a kid that you just like think that it's so normal, right? That you see everybody, all the men in your family, all the men in the street doing it, and you have to unlearn that as well, you know?
Yeah, that can be difficult
and
sometimes.
especially men doing it like harassing each other and completely normalize it. I think it's the worst part.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then it's also like even, it's not only about the kids as well, it's even like oneself, right? It's like something that I'm wondering also, because I do have male friends, some. No, I do have male friends. But it's just like
You're here.
But I'm just also like wondering if they have been catcalling before as well, you know, because it's like so because we all grew up in this kind of society where it's so normalized. So I'm wondering, I've been catcalled before. Have you catcalled before? Have you been catcalled even? You know, like this. And it's just like an ongoing process of trying to unlearn all the things, you know, that we think are so normal.
Yeah, because when we grow up in the school, like you said before, like we already, when you are 14, you see it's normal. So when you see it, you need to unlearn, but it's easy if you never accepted when you were 14. For me, it was already weird. I didn't have the brave. I wasn't brave to say, "Hey, you are beautiful, amore mia." No, I was so. With this, I was shy with the girl, but I was never shy. But in this, I was never that brave. But my best friend was like, "Hey, this girl, like this." But already, like I grew up with a lot of girls, like, and they already a lot of voices. They said to my parents, like to joke, but it's not nice to say, "Oh, your son is gay or is a playboy." Bro, I was 14. You're already judging me. I was 14. You understand? Like
you're just doing your thing and not asking anyone.
Yes, Lord, but that's how I was feeling, like, you know, with girls, and it was normal for me. But
so it's
already,
to, like, unlearn it.
And why I was going out with girls? Because I was going with guys. Oh, football and girls. Oh, yesterday, Did you see what? Did you see what? Oh my God, what I had! Oh my God, oof. Bro, and that was the conversation 24/7. Football and girls, football, cigarette, football. It was so stupid. For me, it was so stupid. And for me, at 14, I wanted to know something else, you know, like even, I don't know. If
I think that's an interesting case study. We have been talking for a while. I think maybe we should try to start rounding off to go to like maybe solutions and how we can, what we can do to tackle the problem, because it's an obvious problem, like we've already discussed and shown. So maybe what would you suggest are some, from your experience and the plethora of knowledge you have, you know, just interacting with victims and stuff like that, what would you suggest are possible solutions which we as a society in general, all sides of the equation, can do to help the problem?
Well, I think first accepting that this is a problem and that shouldn't necessarily be like reviewed or like what like that, to accept the speech of the victim basically as well, the victim of street harassment, because it happens, it's real, and it's too often questioned, you know. And from that standpoint also, I don't know, like you said, like talk to you friends about that also, talk to your male friends about this, and trying to see like, okay, to be like completely honest with yourself, like there is no cancel culture here. It's just like we're all trying to work on something all together, and you won't necessarily be cancelled if you admit that you've been catcalling before, and that eventually you can recognize these patterns and that you want to work on that and not do that in the future as well, you know. And that also like, because also by listening to the victims story, you might also be able to recognize that some stuff that you didn't think was catcalling was actually catcalling, you know, because you don't have the, I don't know, you cannot put your body in the body of the other person, and you don't know what that feels like.
Yeah, you don't have your perspective.
And this is from the perspective of like the aggressor or like somebody that might catcall, but for the people that are being catcalled also, to like come together and to organize something between your peers that are also being catcalled, for instance, and just to like let it out as well, because this is a really healing process. Because I've been catcalled. Actually, there was harassment when I was in Brussels recently, and it was like I've been threatened in the street basically by two guys in a car, and that was super scary, right? And then I would go with my friends, we'd talk about it a lot, and we went in the street and we did also like a talk in the street at the same place where it happened, and this is very healing somehow, because it's like, okay, my experience that just happened to me is not just in my head, I'm not just crazy, like I'm not just like is bad,
valid,
you know, is not just like, oh, a little thing that happened. I've been scared as hell, you know. It's just like,
in a car, yes. Yeah.
it's very scary,
Yeah.
you know. And we have the possibility to like come together also and to do something like Catcalls of Maastricht.
Yeah, exactly.
And to join and to do something to make it public, make it more, you know, make just like that your experience deserves to be shared as well.
Create that space. And I think that's probably also why we invited you guys to the podcast, so we can at least, you know, do our part in spreading the message of there is Catcalls of Maastricht. There is that safe space where you can come share your story, come share what happened to you, and also, you know, maybe find out you're not alone in this. Like, you might feel like you're alone in this and you don't have anywhere else to go, but there is that Catcall space, Catcalls of Maastricht space, where you can actually go and let your voices be heard. Ideally, everyone should listen to you and everyone should hear you and actually validate your story. But unfortunately, a lot of people don't have that, you know? So just let people know that there is that space in case you feel like no one else is hearing you.
Yeah, and that's the great thing about social media also, is that eventually, even if there is nobody around you in a close circle, you can still be able to share something with somebody thanks to the internet. And also with like Catcalls of Maastricht is something that for me is important, that it's not a matter necessarily of like you can be a man and being harassed as well, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like the thing with Catcalls of Maastricht is that or just like street harassment generally is that women are like majoritarily being harassed, right? But then if we like it would be unfair to close the eyes on also the rest of the people that are not women that also get catcalled, you know. And Catcalls of Maastricht is basically for the people that get arrested, not for the women only that get arrested. And I don't want to invisibilize the fact that women get arrested, because women do get arrested and it's a systemic issues, and like there's no way to review that, right? It's like, okay, we move on. But it's also like the rest of the people.
There's a broader scale.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. And that's important as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Like for example, I was really lucky that I was grew up by a single woman. Like lucky on one side, very unlucky on the other side. So she taught me really the respect, especially for women. But I was unlucky on the other side because I grew up with the people that were very, very aggressive to each other, and this was brought up in the group. Like the group idea was to make violence to each other because it was fun, you know. And I was one of the smallest, both smallest and maybe a little bit fat. So I remember literally people harassing each other like with how do you say, just like you're in the street, you know, and you're watching somebody. And somebody says, "What the fuck do you want?" And you know this person, and you start slapping each other, you know, just because you're watching him, you know, and it's absurd.
If you think about it now, when you were 14 or 15, you don't think about
it. And you do this stuff just because the other people do it. And I think it's thinking about it now, how much violence was perpetrated to me and to all my group of friends, because we would do it to each other at the end. And it was so stupid. I think people really suffered from that. Like, and still now
people are still suffering from it.
But exactly like what you said, for instance, for you didn't find it funny in the first place at all when you were a kid, and now that's also why the thing that happened with the guy and the gun, you found it super weird. But some people that might have like been
grow up in that situation,
would just be like, oh, funny, you know.
Exactly. When he did it, he looked back, and what did you expect? The girl saying, "Wow!"
But think about it. Like also, like these people, they were like burning the lighter and doing it this in their legs, and did it to my face. And this was the smile, you know. And people would laugh, burn each other. Like
ignorance, I call it.
It's violence.
But can I tell you another thing happened to me last May? I took this. I thought he was a friend of a friend. Because we were playing football, he told me, "Oh, I need like a ride. Can I come with you?" I said, "Okay." It was May, so it was like 20 degrees, 22. He opened all the window, and he started to shout to every girl we were passing.
Oh my God!
And I told him, "Bro, Bro, if you do it another time, I stop and you go out. Bro, I was like, what the fuck, are you retarded? Or like, what? Why you're doing this? Like, bro, I was ashamed driving. Told me, no, it's okay. Did you see her? I was like, yeah, bro, what the fuck, amore? You never saw a girl.
A woman, yeah.
Bro, Chloe, and he closed it. No, it's okay. Bro,
Yeah.
I told him, really?
That
Thanks
when-
God I'm a nice, because otherwise I could kick him out from the car and leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this guy was
Sure.
so desperate. They need to go from the station. He wasn't from Maastricht. He had to take the train. So if I could kick him out from the car, he could walk and lose
Yeah.
the train.
Oh.
So then, bro, don't do it again. If you do it again,
You're out of my car.
I don't want to be physical, but yeah, you go out. I told me, no, it's okay. Dad. No, it's okay. Today.
I mean, I think that's also part of what we can do to help the problem. Because I think, for example, in this is a good
Bro,
this is a good
It
example.
was a shame.
But I feel like
Cats.
also in the this is like a whole different conversation. I'm just gonna mention it briefly, like in conclusion to everything. But it's just we as men, the way we communicate with men is not graceful and compassionate. Because for example, in that situation when someone is shouting, okay, he's doing a wrong thing. Obviously, he's ignorant and stuff like that. But I feel like shouting at him and, for example, kicking him out of the car, he's gonna do it somewhere else.
Yeah, I know.
Right? If you don't understand the root
Yeah.
of the problem, why he's doing that, and try to
Yeah.
help him, if at all you're friends,
Yeah.
he's just gonna keep doing it somewhere else. So it's
Yeah.
like, if we shout, bro, what are you doing? We beat you up, we fight you.
Yeah.
You're just gonna do the same thing somewhere else. So it's
Again,
like our
yeah.
part as well to really help each other find the
Yeah.
root of the cause. Like
Yeah.
we're grown-up men, true. But some part of us is still kids, and we see people exhibiting this kind of behavior.
Yeah.
There's kids inside of them that want to
I know,
play and want to
absolutely.
explore, and we as men also have to do our part. I mean, it's not a thing which
Yeah.
society propagates for men to be compassionate and grace with each other, but I feel like we have to try and do that more because a lot of our problems which we have nowadays are deep rooted. And we're not going to solve that by shouting at each other and telling each other, you're not supposed to do that, it's bad, it's wrong. No, if we don't understand the root cause and try to help people on an individual level, it's still.
But can you imagine me in that situation? Like,
Oh, if I was
I
was in the car with you, I would be shocked. But I know myself mentally, I'm someone who is aware of what is happening.
yeah.
I would find a more compassionate way to tell you to stop. Like I would, of course, pull up the windows. Like, yo, can you stop that? Like that.
Yeah.
I don't feel
But
that.
can I tell you something? Can I
You
tell
break the
something?
car.
I don't know.
Say, go out and say
I would,
sorry.
I would stop in the highway. I would be like, no, okay, the highway is very dramatic. But I would stop the car to make you understand the gravity of the problem. Like, okay, listen,
Okay.
stop.
Can I tell you
No,
something?
but obviously.
I don't want to
As
be.
you said, they're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I don't want to be rude or too much straight. But with some people, I don't lose time to explain. To them.
That's what I'm saying.
Bro,
for
this
example,
time-
for example,
There are guys that have issues.
no, they have. Actually, that's the
I'm
thing.
not professional. I'm saying, okay, tell me. What
Because
did
the,
you
thing,
say?
the thing is, right? If we are friends,
Yeah.
right? For example, okay, that's it depends on the
Yeah,
definition
yeah,
of friends.
yeah,
Who you
exactly.
are
No,
friends
that was the friend of a friend, wasn't.
Okay, then that's ghetto, right? But if it's someone
Big
actually
one.
your friend, I think it's worth investing the time. But if someone you
Okay,
don't know,
yeah,
then
yeah.
you're not gonna keep.
Yeah.
Talk
I try to
everyone.
invest on him. Look at my my sexuality. I try to invest on him if he understand. Yes, otherwise he's not my friend anymore. I'm sorry.
Oh, the ghetto.
Call me hard, call me too straight, too. But bro, if you don't understand, you're not my
You're
friend anymore.
cancelled. Sheesh.
Yeah, bro, come on, like
Jokes.
really. Like I invited you here to do my podcast with me because I know your values. I've just met you.
Yeah.
You understand? But if you do something wrong, I know. Now I know you. I know I can invest 1 year to explain to you that the thing you did is wrong. Why? Because you have got something working. So
Yeah.
you can get better because no one is perfect. I'm not perfect. He's not perfect. So we can learn. You know, I do mistake, and he come to me, Ricardo. He did it more times. He come to me, Ahmed. This time, they think you did wrong, and I think, bro, fuck, he said something to me like this because he care about me. So I do rewind and I try to do better, but that's okay. But when someone doesn't do this, bro, it's not anymore your friend. Like not your friend. It's not your part of your life anymore because it's doing something against everything.
What you stand for.
You understand? But Nika,
Yeah, I think you have
that's-
to start with, as you say, with your close friends because you cannot
Yeah, you cannot
Yeah,
advise everyone.
expect that everybody's gonna listen to your
Impossible.
message. Is
Yeah.
gonna reach
So I
everybody.
think the cause is deeper. Yeah.
But as you say, if every group had one person that would care and watch out on what the other people are doing and not police the other people on what they are doing, but make them understand the root of the problem, I think you know.
Progress.
It's the beginning already. It's
Things
the
will
beginning.
move.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's hope.
Let's hope.
Something
That's
will
I think
change.
that's a starting point at least.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I don't know if you had.
You are my friend. I will come to you. Why you're saying this?
Did you have something to add before we
No, I
conclude?
think we can conclude. Yeah, we can conclude.
Yeah, do you have any last words? Because you are gonna conclude. We're done.
Thank you very much for
Thank
coming.
you very much.
You have 5 seconds to shout out to wherever you are.
You can say any last words you want to say to people out
Wait,
there. I
is it
know,
like
right?
time now?
10 seconds,
sorry.
10 seconds.
Go.
So you don't want to talk about flirting?
No, that's a whole long conversation.
It's a
I
whole.
feel like the film might be finished soon.
That's why. Did you check?
So maybe you come back
Next
for the
episode.
come back for the next episode.
Talk about
Exactly. You have a reason to come back.
You wanna know how to flirt, guys? We have all these answers.
Okay,
So you get the last word.
Okay, well, to wrap it up, it was great to talk about this with you. It's really, really, insightful and how to say, like has a lot of material, enriching conversation. And I'm also really, really happy to see that you also care, even though you're not necessarily directly touched by the issue, that you also care. And I think it's really great, and it's already a first step. What you're doing is already a first step.
And
So that's really
let's remind to girls in Maastricht or a lot of cities that never think it's safe. Never, even it's a small city. Because I'm here 5 years in Maastricht, and the first 2 years I thought was safe. I thought.
and then,
For everyone, just
really,
be careful.
and
guys, around the city.
after I saw stuff in front of me, and I was like, okay.
yeah.
That's Maastricht, and then and after I start to hear bam 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 stories. Someone, I don't know if you know the story, went in a Gemeente in news. Someone tried to pull a girl inside the car.
Inside the car.
So
Maar je
I would like
But I mean, of course, we hope it's gonna get safe. So
let's hope. Let's
I mean,
hope.
in the end, we know it's not safe, but even if we try to be as careful as possible, shit happens.
Yeah.
Yes.
You still
Yeah.
have to live your life at the
Yeah.
end of the day as well.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you're still here watching.
I know, if those of you are watching, you're the
Why you
MVPs.
left? So
Thank you so much for
yes.
watching,
Check
guys.
out Catcalls of Maastricht.
Then,
Check out Codes of
What do you
Maastricht.
say as always?
Now we go
Off.
off cast.